Into the Chapayev we go. This is a ship that I think is... What's the right way of saying it? I think the Chappy is a ship that everyone likes playing, but no one really plays it after they've grinded through it. I think this is one of those ships that everyone kind of enjoys, but then no one really keeps playing it. Same thing with me. I think the ship is super good. I really like the Russian cruisers. But like once you kind of get through it and then on to the next one, because I feel like Chappy, you go through the Buddy, and you go through the Shores, and then you go to the Chappy, and then you kind of get into different ships. You go into the Donskoy at 9, and that plays a little different, and then you get into the Moscow, which the Moscow is just like completely different than the entire line. So it's kind of weird, but I think the Chappy is super strong. Like, this is one of the few ships, and the Shores, especially at tier 7, is one of those ships that will change how I play if I see them on a cap. And like, I can be in a tier 10 battleship. If I see like a Chappy there, that will affect how I play that cap more than a lot of other tier 10 cruisers, a lot of other tier 9 cruisers, because Russian cruisers have such a high rate of fire, so accurate, such good range, and they will just farm you down. That it's like Shores, like the Shores at 7, if I'm playing like a tier 9, the Shores will affect how I play as a tier 9 battleship. More than, you know, more than like a Miyoko, more than a bunch of other ships. So their ability to punish, especially bad battleship players that are going to repair 1 fire, is really, really good. He's getting kind of like... It's always scary, especially being bottom tier and into a ship like this, that if you get spotted, you can also get blocked. I mean, we've all been in that situation. We've all done that, where we've dev struck a Chappy. So he is getting in, but he's in a good spot here to obliterate this destroyer. And getting into USS Black off the map is really good. He's probably going to rotate away. And instantly... Oh no! We got cross torp. Well, this has got a tad scarier, but he did push those ships away, which is good. Maybe the Shima can get lucky. Also, 12-kilometer radar. You can make plays doing that. And just kind of like the York game we saw, he's instantly playing it correctly. He is in a spot where he just needs to hold. Look at the other side of the map. So a good thing to always do, again, I've talked about this many times before, is mini-map. Look at the mini-map. His team controls C-cap. His team controls B-cap. There is no reason for him to get anywhere closer, or any closer to A-cap. Him getting closer to A-cap is just a death sentence. So it kind of sucks that this GK is in a rough spot. GK should have honestly never been there. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? GK is doing GK things. So him switching over and starting to work on the middle of the map is the right play. Him like trying to snag out a couple salvos on maybe the Iowa that's on A cap or whatever. Let him have A cap, kind of meet up with the group and do what you can. There's nothing he can really do about that GK. He can't stop the incoming fire. He can't stop the incoming fire. However, though, the Kitakaze is YOLOing this guy for no reason, which sucks. Down goes the Kitakaze. Did that for no reason, so nothing you can do there. Down 2 destroyers in the first 5 minutes, as is tradition. And let Russian cruiser gameplay begin. Fires upon fires, Oprah style. That was a terrible YOLO. What do you mean? The whole part about him doing 0 damage and dying? Toxic. The thing about this map, though, is it's an interesting map. Got the Ibuki, which is good. They're down big, though. Being down 2 destroyers is pretty nuts. Yoshino's pushing in Donsk over there. There's just so much heat on ACAP. He's probably going to look back at that GK, and that GK is going to have like 15k life, but... Musashi on Musashi action. See, none of them have, you can tell that they're not good players because none of them have survivability expert. If they rammed right now, they'd probably just trade. So I gotta bring that survivability expert. Survive those rams. They have the, what does this diff have? Back to back to back fires. His last 4 salvos, I think, besides the one that probably lit a fire on the island, have all been fires. This is why, like, pushing into a shores or a Russian ship in general, and even like the Moskva in random battles is maybe, like in clan battles it's kind of different, but like in random battles it's maybe a bit more situational. I don't want to say it's not strong, but it's still really strong. But like the Moskva is still a ship if played correctly in random battles. It's basically a boss fight. It's pretty much just a boss fight. The damage you can pump out in Russian cruisers is crazy, but it's kind of like it's kind of like Royal Navy battleships, Royal Navy cruisers, that they do a lot of damage, but if you mess up and are caught broadside, you just go back to port. You get absolutely wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. But like, if he plays this right, if he gets... Whew, there we go. There we go. But like, this Iowa is just dead. In this spot. Like, this guy's just dead. There's nothing you can do. Like, you have to be so careful. You have to be so careful when dealing with a Russian cruiser. They're so accurate from so far away. Now he's actually in a pretty tough spot. He could get pretty aggressive right here on those, as you see the 3 destroyers are kind of in a straight line. Like boom, boom, boom. 3 DDs right there. I think that Cleveland's kind of hurt too. This Iowa's kind of blocking him off. So he kind of has to take care of this Iowa. But the Iowa Rep 1 fires, so he'll probably burn him down pretty quick. Oh, that Buffalo just got wrecked. And the GK's firing HE is not the worst thing in the world. What's gonna happen with this game? Okay, Shimakaze. Oh, nice. Buffalo did get the Shimakaze, which is good. It's a little bit behind on that. I think this guy's moving Ted forward. Also, again, we talked about it in the last game. If you're I think this aim's off a bit. A good thing to do. Wow, he's really not moving then. So it's hard to tell if a ship is moving forward or backwards or full speed, or use your torp launcher. Use your torp launcher. If you are a ship that has torps, you can use those torp launchers. Now, one thing that we are seeing right here is he's very focused on this one ship. He's very, very focused on this one ship. So what ends up happening is his next play, the next closest ship is probably 25 kilometers the other way. So he has gotten a little tunnel visioned here. As you see, he's about to run into the blue line, and the closest ship is on the E line. So he's gotten pretty tunnel visioned on this. And yep. Yep. There you go. He got a little punish. Now he has to play passive. What are you gonna do there? So yeah, he got pretty tunnel vision there, and he got punished for it. The warship gods have punished him, and he can now start to push in. So he has to be a little careful. He doesn't have a heal. Chappy doesn't get heals, and this is what he gets. But if he gets into a spot, there are a couple islands here you can use to kind of farm some damage. It's kind of nice. These guys are all focused. You guys are all focused on that. Look at that Daunt's going A10. A10. But yes, little tunnel vision. They're in the lead, so he doesn't need to really get too aggressive here. Sashi's just chilling. They just still have the USS Black. Cleveland's rotating that way. Donskoy dies. I don't know how the rest of life. I think the minnow is okay. Yeah, Donskoy is like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. They got pretty lucky with that Shima getting killed. Shima getting killed by the buffalo on a... Ooh, that Minotaur, if they can get taken out, they're pretty solid here. GK can just go sit in the middle of Cap. What is the play? What can he do? He has to be so careful with unloading. There you go. That works.
Our team has taken the lead.
They're capping B, so the USS Black. And the Chappy is one of the ships that with Concealment Expert and Module, you can stealth radar. And that's a really, really, really strong... A really strong thing to have. Not worth taking a shot at all. So the detection is 10.4, radar's 12. So he's pretty much kind of has to hold his shot until he gets into a position here. Hold his shot. When he gets spotted, he knows he can be within radar range. Yeah, he took that other cell. What happened? I don't know what happened to both those guys. Well, he got... Musashi got wrecked. He even has to be careful because he took that second big salvo. And this USS Black could kill him. He only has 4,100 life, so... He could easily just 2-salvo him. But this is what he's doing. He's waiting to see if he gets spotted. I think the Brindisi was... I wouldn't fire here still. I really wouldn't fire here. Yeah, I don't think I would have fired here. He's using that island as cover, but I don't think he really needs to do this. Right now, he's in a spot where he just gets to kind of hang out. He only has one radar. It's going to be on super cooldown. I would have just waited. You're so low on life, why risk it? Obviously, they have a... the ram is not that bad of a play, too. He's gonna... Ram's good, if he gets it. He's not getting it. Instead of going for the ram, the Norkel's just gone purely broadside. Instead of going and taking the ram for the kill... Ooh, got a shot on him. There's the USS Black right there. He's super healthy. That USS Black, if played correctly, would have just killed Killmeister here. So the right play for him to do right now is to just like basically post up right here, lock in that. He is kind of getting smart, pushing in this way. He has one radar, but not for 11 minutes. I wouldn't have done this. Definitely wouldn't have done this. This is actually a really... I would say this is a misplay. There's no real like upside for him going this way besides potentially risking taking a shot from the battleship. He could have done all of this while going into B-cap. Yeah, he got a reset, I guess. I don't know.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Would it matter? I don't really know. Basically what he could have done right there without doing what he did, is he could have continued to pump in damage. So what he would just do right here is just, like, sit right here. He could have just seriously pulled up and sat right here, continued to fire, not even move, because he's blocking off the line of sight from these guys. Just sat there, pump fire in, pump fire in, pump fire in, and then just radar. He kind of did this, like, weird, like, draw away thing, which didn't do anything. So, that's what I would have done right there. I think that's probably maybe a little of the old tunnel vision, as we were talking about earlier. But I mean, if you have any kind of decent aim, the Russian cruisers are such a good line to learn how to use spotter plane. Obviously, the Chappy doesn't have the spotter plane, but like the Shores and the Buddy, they're such good ships to learn the spotter plane because they have such low trajectory. And you could really just, it's a great line. It's a great line to learn how to use a spotter plane. I don't know why he's turning in. You have 4 sonars. You have radar. Alright, why he's turning away. You could have killed this destroyer a long time ago. Yeah, I think the end of this game is a little sloppy. But he kind of got into a rough situation. He's just trying to basically live, but... What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Overall, Chappy's still so fun. It's a ship I don't play enough. And still extremely, extremely good. Extremely good. Killmeister GG's, though. Nice little 143k. Nasty against battleships. Nasty against battleships.